Hello, this is MIT Open Courseware Centric World University and Schools WUaS News and Question and Answer on Monday, February 5th, 2024 at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time, 7:30 p.m. India Time. Check your time converter to join from any time zone. This is an open conversation, potentially. Posting to Twitter about it, twitter.com/WORLDUNIVANDSCH and twitter.com/WUaSPRESS. Here's a sticker with World University and Schools logos, the World University and School on the academic side, and the WUaS Press on the educational services stores, bookstores, computer stores, robotics stores, academic press in 7,168 known living languages with machine translation, and some URLs for both the main homepage and the academic press WUaS beginning bookstore for your enjoyment. As we wait to see if people will join us, I'd like to share a little news with you. First, here's a robot build that I made from Lego Spike Prime Robotics Kit, which the WUaS Press, WUaS Corp is an authorized carrier of. This is a quality control robot. It's from the Lego Robotics Spike Prime tutorial, and it can potentially check quality of, for example, these four colors of Lego bricks and blocks. And it can be coded with the free Scratch programming language out of MIT as well. World University and Schools seeks to make home robotics, WUaS home robotics, central and important initially to World University and Schools free degrees. You can matriculate in for a free degree with Lego Spike Prime Robotics Kit, and perhaps taking the CS First with Google at World University's course at the same time, if you're interested. Free AA, Associate of Arts, AS, Associate of Science, Arts, 2-year undergraduate degree, bachelor, 4-year undergraduate degree, PhD, law, medicine, IB, high school or similar, and master's degrees, building on the CC4 licensed MIT Open courseware resources with about 2,600 courses in English and in 3 other languages presently. World University and School seeks to build degrees for free for students from home. In these regards, World University and School also seeks to build bookstores, computer stores, robotic stores in all 200 countries, and have recently created a business plan at World University and School for a first bookstore, potentially in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and which business plan may well work for World University and School accrediting with the Middle States Commission on Higher Education with offices in the Philadelphia area, and with licensure with the state of Pennsylvania's Department of Education. We already have the green light and authorization from these agencies and organizations, but we haven't paid them the initial $11,500 in fees, and we don't have that money yet as well. Perhaps this business plan will help. It's something that is a requirement for Middle States Commission on Higher Education accreditation. And World University and School, WUaS, is also in communication recently with Chase Bank, Chase Credit Card, and via an invitation to from Stanford LBAN, Latino Business Action Network, in conjunction, in collaboration with curated coaching at the Acceleration Project, TAP, and where the curated coaching, the Acceleration Project, has I think a consulting relationship with JP Morgan Chase Bank. World University and School has met twice with curated coaching coaches, once December 8th on supply chain questions with the great Jenny Ling with a Wharton MBA, and another time on access to business funding with Samantha Garbus. And out of this came this writing of this business plan. So I'm going to share a little bit about it with you here in video and for the recording as well. And namely, World University and School, MIT OpenCourseWare-centric wiki, World University and School, WUaS educational services stores for books, computers, robotics plus, business plan for a startup business, 2024. I'll read you a bit of the business bookstore executive summary and the business overview. MIT OpenCourseWare-centric wiki, World University and Schools, WUaS educational services stores for books, computers, robotics plus, a physical digital bookstore, is a newly established academic bookstore located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. In addition to academic books in all 200 countries' main languages, it sells books of all genres, bookmarks, notebooks and journals, calendars, puzzles, and a selection of board and computer games. WUaS educational services stores for books, computers, robotics bookstore Plus will be located within walking distance of the University of Pittsburgh and Carnegie Mellon University. WUaS educational services stores for books, computers, robotics bookstore Plus will target all residents of Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania, particularly those with a fond appreciation for free, highest quality, MIT OpenCourseWare-centric WUaS education and degrees, free online universities, and high schools too, and intellectual life and life of the mind or body minds. WUaS educational services stores for books, computers, robotics bookstore Plus is solely owned by Scott GK MacLeod, myself, an author who is amassing an immense collection of books and wants to share my love of books with the greater Pittsburgh community. As an author himself, Scott wants to support other authors by creating an academic press, as well as having a rotating author of the month, where he will prominently display their book and hold an author book signing, where they can discuss their book publicly and be available to meet and socialize with fans at the store. WUaS educational services stores for books, computers, robotics bookstore Plus will also hold a book club where people can gather weekly to discuss select books that the club chooses to read. The book club will add a different book weekly and meet to discuss their thoughts at the World University and School bookstore in Shadyside community, Pittsburgh, PA. Scott believes that by keeping his clientele engaged, it will lead to greater customer loyalty and frequent book sales. The book club will have a membership subscription service that allows members to be billed monthly, and the World University and School bookstore in Shadyside, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania bookstore will mail the member the book that will be discussed the following week. Product offering. The following are products to be offered by World University and School bookstore in Shadyside, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Lego robotics kits, such as the Lego robotics kit Spike Spike Prime, the build from which I just showed you a robot of. Computers, devices, with a book focus initially. Books of all genres. Children's books, young adult books, bookmarks, notebooks and journals, calendars, puzzles, small selection of board and computer games, bookstore candies and food, cafes eventually. Customer focus. The customer focus for World University and School Bookstore in Shadyside, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania will include all residents of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania and beyond, while the close proximity to local universities will bring in college students and staff. Scott also hopes to bring in families and residents from all walks of life to the bookstore. World University and School Bookstore in Shadyside, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania also seeks to use this bookstore for outreach to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania residents of all walks of life. For free to students, MIT OpenCourseWare-centric World University and School degrees, bachelor, PhD, law, MD, IB high school, or similar AAAS and master's degrees. So you can see this business plan both on Twitter and in the World University and School blog, if you're interested in reading it. It's publicly available, and World University and School welcomes your comments and thoughts and ideas and questions. So that's the first news item I'd like to share with you today. Excited for the potential to begin accreditation with this business plan, which may allow us to further at World University and School seek reimbursement from, for example, the state of Pennsylvania's Departments of Education and counties' Departments of Education in Pennsylvania for per student per year for free MIT OpenCourseWare-centric World University and School degrees for students studying from home with a play focus, with a WUaS home robotics focus, also with a WUaS humanities focus. Paralleling Reed College's required first-year humanities course for all first-year students, which in many ways explores or has explored the ancient Greek world and how philosophy and science and math and democracy and thinking, critical thinking and poetry and drama all began and have their roots. Agenda item 2. I think I explored this last week on January 29th, and that video recording from the WUaS News and Question and Answer is in the YouTube channel, the active YouTube channel for World University and School presently, youtube.com/Scott MacLeod World University. So agenda item 2, Stanford Law Codex. I've applied from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for a Stanford Law Codex fellowship position for the 2024-2025 year with a housing option on the Stanford campus. And my email here was to the first presenters for the 2024 year at Stanford Law Codex and to Roland Vogel, the executive director. Briefly, the first presenters focused on, in many ways, legal thinking and how to turn that into something that law firms and legal tech could quantify in new ways, in terms of billable hours, for example, and how could information technologies and machine learning help with this. Thanks, Adrian and all, and interesting. How would you quantify legal thinking rather than writing contracts, smart contracts, or documenting processes as for billable hours? So how would you quantify legal thinking or strategy or conversations in voice as distinct from document work. If editing work and writing work are examples of your software bills for example, please, how could this be billable? Or are you primarily creating software for legal work on documents, and are you planning at all for brainwave headsets or voice software? And Adrian Parlow, the main presenter of this legal tech software, mentioned billing also for voice and that they're working on this. I mentioned that Stanford Law professor Hank Greeley has been retweeting Nida Farahani, a Duke University professor's work on neurotechnologies, and her book, The Battle for Your Brain, could be a fascinating new direction for Adrian Parlow and his group to focus on in developing their software further. I'm going to move on to agenda item 3. After sharing with them the 200 law schools at World University and School that we're planning, and our roughly 9 law schools that we've begun in 9 out of 200 countries and planned in those main languages, for example, all online, and are seeking to hire legal experts, potentially law researchers and faculty, potentially out of Stanford Law Codex networks, for our 200 online law schools. And as World University and School seeks to hire even as many as 2.5 million people over the next 50 to 75 years in all 200 countries and speakers of all 7,168 known living languages. Having applied for the Stanford Law Codex Fellowship, which brings together Stanford Law and Stanford Engineering, World University and School is excited to explore this further if I get the position from California. Agenda item 3, World University and School aging reversal and genetics, and how aging reversal may work scientifically, and new directions even with yoga, and regarding telomere, the ends of chromosomes, I think, biomarkers, and a realistic virtual earth for genetics, a realistic virtual earth for aging reversal. So, because these are fascinating and remarkable new developments, I'll share with you the Harvard researcher, Alex Plesa, Plesa, who's working with George Church, work on 8 approaches to, or 8 tweets about aging reversal and how it works. The first tweet, posted on December 21st, 2023, from Alex Plesa, who is the principal investigator at a group out of Harvard and MIT, I think, ICHOR, I-C-H-O-R. The tweet reads, "Can we reverse aging? 7 years ago, Ocampo et al. Showed that partial reprogramming can ameliorate aging hallmarks, but OSKM, these are Yamanaka factors, OSKM induction has safety limitations, and no new factors have emerged since then." And there's an article here, a bioRx archive. Here we used genetic screens to find rejuvenation factors, and there's a clock that's moving backwards in the GIF image in this first tweet. The second tweet reads, with also from December 21st, 2023, from Alex Plesa at AMPLESA on Twitter. With thousands of genes changing throughout aging, how do we know which ones to target? Networks of genes, networks. To increase our odds of finding the right targets and comprehensively rejuvenating cells, we decided to focus on the central nodes in the aged gene regulatory networks. It's the second fascinating tweet on how aging reversal genetics is a focus of investigation for Alex Plesa and ICOR, and with George Church as an advisor, I think. Number 3 out of 8. Next, to measure aging, we looked at gene expression changes in skin fibroblasts with donors aged 1 to 96 years old, assuming cells from young donors are healthier. We built transcriptomic functional indicators for 8 cellular processes and used them to measure overall cellular age. The 4th out of 8 tweets that Alex Plesa shared on December 21st, 2023 reads, "In search for new rejuvenation factors, we tested our top 90 genes by overexpressing them in human-aged skin fibroblasts, using the resulting gene expression profiles. We mapped out a landscape of fibroblast cell aging and rejuvenation and identified a particular gene, I think, SRSF1, as a promising target." And most of these tweets, these 8 tweets, have interesting graphics. And this one in particular is interesting. It's a map of where SRSF1 gene is in sort of a 3D grid environment with OSKM factors in this orange and purple graphic as well. Check out the graphics on Twitter. Tweet 5 out of 8, Alex Plesa continues, "Okay, so from a gene expression standpoint, SRSF1 induction makes these cells younger. Does that mean they also function better? Yes, in certain aspects. We observed a reduction in cellular senescence, proteasome load, and an increase in collagen production." And Alex Plesa continues in the 6th out of 8 tweet with some 3 images of skin, and maybe from mice. But does this work in living organisms? It does, at least in the skin. We showed that SRSF1 gene therapy rejuvenates old skin and reverses its wound healing ability to youthful levels in mice. And this is another Twitter profile, just says in mice. Alex Plesa continues, "Oh, and it's also linked to longevity in worms." The 7th out of 8 tweets, "Cool, what next? Testing SRSF1 gene in age-related disease models and for health span extension in old mice. Also, larger screens in other cell types. We think this is a viable approach for discovering new rejuvenation factors to serve as basis for future aging reversal therapies." And lastly, a thank you tweet, 8 out of 8. Thanks to George Church and all our amazing co-authors. And I won't read all the co-authors, but they're in the tweet. A respondent on Twitter in December 23rd, 2023 asks, named Lori Green, what does reverse aging mean exactly? Curious to know your take on it, as it seems as if a lot of people have a different take on it. And Alex Plesa replies on December 23, 2023 as well. Ultimately, I think about it as converting a biological system, cell, tissue, organ, organism, to a more functional state, representative of a younger age. Great. These are amazing developments. And in this same agenda item 3, I also explore another paper written by 3 people in India, I think at the University of Delhi, on the effects of yoga and meditation on cellular aging and regarding telomeres, part of chromosomes. The paper reads, "Impact of yoga and meditation on cellular aging in apparently healthy individuals, a prospective open-label, single-arm exploratory study by Madhuri Tolahunase, Tolahunase, and Rajesh Sagar and Rima Dada, which is in an NIH scientific paper from the National Institute of Health in the United States. And as a yoga teacher myself and a yoga learner, I'm wondering how World University and School could build on this paper from 2017 to look at these questions of yoga and meditation on aging reversal cellularly within a realistic virtual earth for genomics think Google Street View at the with time slider, Google cell view level, and Google molecule level, Google atom level, and potentially also in a realistic earth for aging reversal. So I'm going to read the abstract from this paper from 2017 and explore how World University and School might even begin to bring these approaches with yoga and meditation to cellular aging reversal and regarding telomeres, together with the work above that Alex Plesa described, and in a realistic virtual earth for genetics, in a realistic virtual earth for genomics. So the abstract for this impact of yoga and meditation-based lifestyle intervention on cellular aging reads, "This study was designed to explore the impact of yoga and meditation-based lifestyle intervention, YMLI, on cellular aging in apparently healthy individuals. During this 12-week prospective open-label single-arm exploratory study, 96 apparently healthy individuals were enrolled to receive yoga and meditation lifestyle interventions. The primary endpoints were assessment of the change in levels of cardinal biomarkers of cellular aging in blood from baseline to week 12, which included DNA damage marker 8-hydroxy-2-deoxyguanosine, 8-OH2DG, oxidative stress markers reactive to oxygen species, ROS, and total antioxidant capacity, TAC, and telomere attrition markers, telomere length and telomerase activity. The secondary endpoints were assessment of metabotrophic blood biomarkers associated with cellular aging, which included cortisol, S-endorphin, IL-6, BDNF, and sirtuin-1, After 12 weeks of YMLI, yoga, meditation, lifestyle interventions, there were significant improvements in both the cardinal biomarkers of cellular aging and the metabotrophic biomarkers influencing cellular aging compared to baseline values. The mean levels of 8-OH2DG, ROS, cortisol, and IL-6 were significantly lower, and mean levels of TAC, telomerase activity, S-endorphin, BDNF, and sirtuin-1 were significantly increased, all values P greater than 0.05. Post-YMLI, the mean level of telomere length was increased, but the finding was not significant, P equals 0.069. YMLI significantly reduced the rate of cellular aging in apparently healthy population. So these are two fascinating approaches to aging reversal World University and School seeks to build on. Just checking to see if people want to join us with your questions or similar. And lastly, China World University and School met 2 out of about 10 Chinese graduate students from China studying in Pittsburgh, both I think at Carnegie Mellon University and at the University of Pittsburgh. One is a master's degree student, Shulei Gao, and one is a PhD student, Shumeng Luo, both in information science. And we talked on a hike about an hour north of Pittsburgh on Saturday afternoon about a little bit about both Taoism and Confucianism, I think of which they were very familiar and connected with and appreciative of, and also China World University and School and the beginning China Medical School at WUaS, which already have MIT OpenCourseWare courses translated into traditional Chinese. Hoping we can develop this further in China, and as World University and School, as China World University and School grows in Mandarin, in the Wu language, in Cantonese language, in all the languages in China, for Chinese students studying for home, for free to students MIT OpenCourseWare-centric World University and School degrees. So I shared with them in email as well some sets of tweets about Confucius and Lao Tzu, the possible author of the Tao Te Ching, and it's also possible they may have been contemporaries of one another. Why is Confucius so revered? Why is the Tao Te Ching so revered, a book of Chinese philosophy, Taoist philosophy? Why is Confucius so revered? The set of tweets reads, WUaS Confucius is known as the first teacher in China who wanted to make education broadly available, establishing the art of teaching as a vocation, and established ethical, moral, and social standards as well. Check out the Britannica article on Confucius, and regarding World University, Twitter and WUS China. Why is Lao Tzu and why is the Tao Te Ching so revered? Here's a set of tweets that relates. Why is the Tao Te Ching so revered? Read this great new translation I found, poetryintranslation.com, PITBR, Chinese Tao Te Ching.php. Journey of 1,000 miles, and the way are things that the Tao Te Ching explored, and virtue, Te, in the Tao Te Ching, through naturalness, Ziran is the Chinese word, and non-action, Wu Wei is the Chinese word. See also the plato.stanford.edu/entries/Lao Tzu, entry in the Stanford Encyclopedia Philosophy. It's a profound philosophy to restore harmony and tranquility. And see the Britannica, Encyclopedia Britannica article on the Tao Te Ching. And also check out my blog posts label on Taoism, scott-macleod.blogspot.com/search/label/Taoism with a capital T. So that's the news and question and answer for today. On Monday, February 5th, 2024, World University and School is seeking to create new bookstore, computer stores, robotics stores, a first one on Walnut Street in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, potentially with JP Morgan Chase banking and credit card financial backing, and to grow potentially to bookstores, more bookstores in Pittsburgh, possibly in the recently closed Walmart in the Waterworks Mall near Fox Chapel suburb, where Shadyside Academy High Achieving High School is, and potentially in all 50 US states and in all 200 countries as well. World University and School is seeking to matriculate students this autumn as we accredit further with this business plan. Stay in tuned on Twitter and email sgkmacleod@worlduniversityandschool.org if you would like to find out more about World University and School or receive emailings. worlduniversityandschool.org is our homepage, and the academic press is findable from there. twitter.com/WORLDUNIVANDSCH is the main World University and School Twitter feed, and the WUaS Press Twitter feed is that, twitter.com/WUaSPRESS. Until next Monday, which will probably be the 12th of February 2024 at 10 a.m. See you soon. I'll save this recording to the current active World University and School YouTube channel, youtube.com/Scott MacLeod World University. Until next time, bye.